Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you get notified of my future videos. In this video today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to join your princess dart bustier. Guys, in my last video on the channel, I shared with you guys how to draft a basic princess dart bustier. So I shared with you how to draft your very own. I used a different measurement for that, so I wanted to make something for myself, so I should quickly made another pattern, which is what you're seeing right now. So after creating my pattern, I just went ahead to place those patterns on my actual fabric, and I'm just using it to trace it out. So if you are looking to cut out your own princess dart pattern, definitely you need to watch that video, draft your pattern, and come back here so that we can come together and I will show you guys how to stitch them together. So right now I'm just basically cutting out my front and back pieces using the patterns that I've drafted earlier. So this is what the front looks like after I was done drafting it, cutting it out. I'm just going to do the exact same thing for the back. So guys, I want to quickly draw your attention to this. So when you are using the pattern that I shared with you to cut out on your fabric, please add ½ an inch to the shoulder here and also to the end of the dress for both the front and the back, just to the shoulder and to the end, so that you have that for stitching allowance. I did add that to the pattern drafting tutorial. So that's basically it. This is the front already, and this is the back pattern. So if you're wondering why the back has this coming out here, is because that is going to be the zipper allowance. This back that I have here is a v-neck, and you know in the pattern that I drafted before I had round neck there, so you can definitely choose whichever neck you want. I also went ahead to cut out my pieces on the lining, and after that I just ironed in my stays that I wanted to put, although my rugged iron actually burnt one of them, which is fine, thank god it's at the back. Now what I'm going to do to stitch it down, as you can see, you're going to start from one side. So basically if you have pins, you can actually do this pin down first before taking it over to the sewing machine. So we're going to just stitch one side to it right now. So as you see me doing it like this, put it together, place it on the machine, and you're going to start sewing. So when you get to the part where the curve started, so you're going to stop and then start arranging the curve on it. Just ensure that as you're sewing, make sure that it's not pleating, that there are no gathers or anything, so that it comes out perfectly. So this is something that you have to be very careful with. You don't really need to be in a hurry at this point here. Just ensure that everything is staying right in place and it aligns together. You see that it will actually get to the end. When you get to the end, the fabric will actually just stop. So as you see how this is right now. So if we flip it over, you see this is one part of the princess dart all done, and we've not even ironed this out. See how it looks. So we're just going to repeat the same process for the other part, but for the other part we'll start from the armhole instead of from the waist part, because I need to be able to arrange the side to the middle. So I hope you understand what I mean. So when you get to the place where the curve ended, which is here again, you're just going to stop and arrange your sewing machine so that you get a straight line. So this is how the back looks like after I finished joining the two sides to the center front, and I'm just going to make notches so that I'm able to spread this open, and especially when I'm going to iron it. So guys, after making notches, this is What I'm going to do now is to iron it out, and to iron it out, you're going to open the seam. So you're going to iron the seams open. So for the curved part of the Princess Dart Bustier, there's this thing that I have. It looks like a ball. I think it's called a tailor's ham, something like that. You're going to just arrange your dart on it, the Princess Dart, and you're just going to iron it open. If you don't have this, it's actually very easy to make. I had to even quickly make this morning to do this video. It's very easy. Just put some old pieces of fabric together, just gather them together and just sew it into a ball. That's all. That's how I made my own tailor ham, which is what you see me using right there. So as you iron, just open up the seam and ensure that it's coming out very straight. I had to be very careful with my rugged iron. Like, this iron has dealt with me today. It wanted to burn almost everything I was doing. I really need to change it, but we have to make do with it for now. So you flip it over again, still on the same tailor ball. You're just going to iron the front part of it. Then you will do the exact same thing on the other part as well. So after I was through with everything, this is what it looks like, guys. You can actually see that the Princess Dart is out. You can see how it looks like. You can imagine this is not worn yet and it's already looking like this. So this is what it looks like. This is what the front part of it looks like. So the next thing I went ahead to do after this was to stitch down my lining pieces just the same way I did the front. The lining is not standing because I didn't add any form of thickener, anything to make it thick. So now what I'm going to do is to place the lining and the actual fabric right sides facing each other like this. It's very simple, don't be confused. Right sides facing each other, and I'm going to stitch the neck and the sides as well. So after joining the lining to it, this is what it looks like at the back. So if I flip it in, you see that this is what it looks like. It looks exactly the same way as the front. So this is the front part of it. This is how you just put your lining. And one thing I did was to top stitch on the lining piece after I had finished doing the neck part, so that the lining doesn't come up in front. So you see how it looks here, very neat. So that's all for the lining of the front. Next thing I went ahead to do was to just also attach my lining pieces to the back pieces as well, placing them right sides facing each other. It's not really necessary because the lining doesn't even have a right side, but I'm just going to place it like this and go over to stitch the neck and the side. I will leave the armhole and the shoulder. So this is what it looks like. Remember that this is going zipper allowance that is going in. I also went ahead to stitch down the darts as well. So this is the back pattern. Now we're going to join the front and the back together at the shoulder. So I'm just going to place this right on my shoulder like this. I'm going to arrange it in place, and after that you're going to stitch down the shoulder. And to stitch down the shoulder, what I normally do is to place one side of it. It could be the front or the back. I'm going to use it to cover the two shoulder. I hope you understand that. And I'm going to stitch it down so that when you do it that way, it actually comes out very neatly. So this is what it looks like after I was done, and I just went ahead to just make a stitch on that zipper side just to hold it in place. I'm going to open that up later. So you see how cute my v-neck is going to come out. It's really pretty at the back, and this right here is the front. So this is basically how you join your Princess Dart together, and it's actually a very easy thing to do. So thank you so much guys for watching. In my next video, you definitely want to keep up watching this channel. I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I will attach the sleeve. I actually want to make a bishop sleeve for this dress, and then I will work on the skirt part of the dress, and that would basically be all for this video. So thank you so much for watching the video today. I hope that you find this helpful. I hope that you go back and check the other video, draft your pattern, come back here and try to sew along.